All right, hey, what's up guys? Coach Mack, play fast. All right, today I'm going to do a video on defensively changing box numbers, all right, so the numbers of players we put in the box, and then how it changes looks and numbers for the offense and creates more things for them to prepare for. Make sure you check out some of our partners, Game Strat, Sideline Replay Company we use. I've used them the last 5 or 6 years at my previous schools, and now at Bishop Kenny we use them. If you're looking for highly reliable, highly affordable, make sure you check out why everybody is making the change to Game Strat. Dome hats, the Headwear company we use. All right, I use them for my play fast stuff. Bishop Kenny, we use them, completely customizable hats. Anything you want, you design your own hat. They can do whatever you want. They've got an online hat builder. You build your own hat, completely customizable. Check out Dome. Baker Sporting Goods company we use for our coaches gear, player spirit packs. Our uniforms are distributed from them. We can do team stores through them, fan stores, stores for teachers. We can do whatever we want through Baker Sports. They're in the shoulder pad world, big in the baseball world. Make sure you check out Baker Sporting Goods. JustPlay, which is the software we use for our playbooks. A lot of our meetings, installs, things are done in the presentation mode in JustPlay. You can quiz your players using videos, all right, using diagrams, quiz them on game plans, playbook installations. So if you want to take your program to the next level, make sure you're using JustPlay. DifferenceUSA, the ultimate striking machine. We have them in our weight room. You are working on striking violently. You don't need a partner. You don't need to teach somebody how to hold a bag. You don't have to worry about rotating through guys holding a bag. It's just a player. DifferenceUSA machine. You're working on striking, elbows in, thumbs up, striking violently, doing all the things you need to do to become a better striker. Check out DifferenceUSA. All right, now we got the Play Fast Virtual Clinic series going on. Tonight we've got another one, a defensive one. Tyler Thomas, defense coordinator at Bartram Trail, former player of mine, former coach on my staff, now out on his own doing some really big things. So if you're interested in that, email sting, S-T-I-N-G, 8740@gmail.com. I'll tell you how you can get registered. And then got some deals going on, all right, so got about 7 or 8 more days of the deals that we got going on. All right, changed it a little bit. If you're interested in any of the individual clinics, they can be purchased for $5 a piece. What am I talking about? Talks that we had with Noma Zone. My head coach talking screen game. All right, Tim Krause talking screen game. Atavis did a tackling clinic for us. Devin Bice, the O-line coach at West Alabama, did a zone run game clinic for us. Sean McIntyre, the head coach at Creekside High School in Northeast Florida, did a drill clinic for us on how to bring drills from practice to games. Drills that show up, all right, or things that show up in games, how to take those situations and make sure you're doing drills that are going to show up in a game. And then I did one on our Blitz family system, how we use our Blitz families. Either of those or any of those individual you can have for $5 if you email me. You can have all 6 of those for $25 if you email for me. End of summer, right before fall camp, running a deal for all the guys we got going on. Tonight we've got another PlayFest Zoom clinic, defensive clinic, and then next week we've got next Thursday night, Jordan Belfour, the defense coordinator at Colgate University, is doing a defensive clinic for us. Last one on July 27th, Matt Lawrence, offensive line coach from Bowles, talking about their gap run game. So if you're interested in any of those previous clinics, any of the upcoming clinics, email sting 8740@gmail.com and I'll let you know how we can hook you up with those, all right? So when I talk about changing box numbers, I'm talking about the numbers, the appearance of the box, right? So any of you that have followed this channel, you know that we are a tight front, 3 high team. Tight front, 3 high is what is kind of known as the light box theory, right? So we're putting the least amount of players in the box possible, all right, to where we either have a 3-2 box or a 3-1 box. We're trying to take away all the interior gaps, all right, and we're trying to push the ball outside so that we can support it with linebackers, safeties, and our middle safety running the alley, right? So the idea of that is present a lighter box, invite teams to run the ball, take away gaps on the inside, force the ball to matriculate its way outside, and then be there in coverage to support it and run to it, right? So lighter box theory, 3-2 box, tight front, 4 eyes. Well, sometimes you're going to want to change the appearance of the box and the numbers in the box, all right, to maybe take away how inviting the run game looks. So when we line up in our tight front 3 high stuff, the run game looks very inviting. We want it to look that way. We want to invite people to run the ball, and then we want to fit it and support it to the best of our ability. All right, so we want to make them think that runs are there, but based on the techniques of the 4 eyes and how we play the nose, how we play the middle safety, we would like to take some of those runs away. But what happens when you play the lighter box theory or the tight front 3 high theory is eventually teams scheme up all of their runs to block the box and the numbers that you're presenting. So one of the things that we do to change the box all right, is we use our middle safety as a linebacker, and I've talked about this in the past. It doesn't change his coverage responsibilities. All right, the only thing is we have alerts or 3-by-1 checks that we've got to talk about when we are using this theory. But if we go to 4 down, all right, and for us it's the mic. If we go to 4 down and we go back to the 2 high world, we are presenting a completely different box for the offense. So now we're presenting a different front, but we're also changing the numbers in the box. So now that's a 6-man box. So they have to make sure that they can account for the 6-man box. Previously in the tight front, it was a 3-2 box. Now we know that our middle safety is going to add himself into the run fits. On the defensive side, we know how many players we are tying to the run fit. All right, we know what our numbers are. But you've got to make it tougher on the offense. So make them figure out how you're supporting things. Make them figure out, all right, how you are fitting things, and make them figure out who they need to block. So what you got to remember is, in the game of football, yes, you're playing against the other coaches and the other coordinator, but once the ball gets snapped, you're playing against the kids on the field. So if you put it down on paper and a coordinator can look at it and go, well, that's a different front, but it's the same numbers in the box, the middle safety's just down lower, he can block all that. But if you change the picture for the offensive lineman, you got to make sure that they can handle that. So now not only have we changed the leverage of the front, all right, so if they were working on tight front beaters and they were working on pulling tackles and using pin pull runs or runs that they really liked against a tight front, by changing to the 4 down over front, we've changed the appearance of the box, but we've also changed the numbers in the box, right? So if you look at it from like the 3-by-1 world, right? So if you look at it from the 3-by-1 world, now you get yourself in a situation where if we're in tight front 3 high, you know the box you're going to get, right? So you know that you're going to get that 3-2 box. And then our standard check, since we are playing 3 high and I don't need the backside safety, and I just did a short video this morning on understanding 3-by-1 checks on offense and defense. If we use the middle safety, I don't need the backside safety. So now we can use all of our single side menus. But you know you're getting that 3-2 tight front box. So you know the box that you're getting. You know in 3-by-1 you can take the middle safety. If he's part of the 3-by-1 check, you can potentially remove him from the fit, and now you can work on your numbers that you like and your angles that you like against the tight front, right? So we know that on defense as well. So if I were to switch to the over front and play it from a 2 high structure, okay, now if I present this look, all right, now what I've done is I've changed the angles of the front. I've changed where we're aligned, so now we're in a standard over front. But I've also created a 6-man box. So now if they're in 3-by-1, and they've got to account for the 6-man box, right? So if it's all the runs versus the 5-man box that they may have loved, or RPOs where they block 5 in the box with their 5 offensive linemen, well, now that has to change a little bit. If they wanted to RPO out of this deal, it's probably got to be some type of quarterback run using the tailback as an insert player, because that's the only way they can block all 6. Now, they can still stay with read theories, and they can read one of the players so that they can block 5, read 1. Okay? But when I have the lighter 5-man box, they can run schemes where they account for all 5, block all 5, all right? And now they don't have to read anybody, and they've got to get those 5 blocked, and we've got to get the ball out to the guys that we think are going to be unblocked, right? So as soon as we change the appearance of this, all right, and we change the structure of the secondary behind it, we are creating different numbers and different looks for the offense. So if I went a step further, let's say we wanted to change some of the angles and go to 3-3 stack. All right, so from time to time we will play some stack defense, and within our structure, the middle safety comes down to play a stack linebacker. So now, that's the appearance of the box. So now it's a 6-man box again. We've changed the front from tight to normal okie or stack to where we're playing with 5s or heavy 5 techniques. And now we've got 3 stack linebackers in the box. That's a different look for the lineman. That's a different look for the coordinator. Now it's a 6-man box. There's different angles. Your pin pulls aren't as effective. You don't have all the same angles or leverage on the 4 eyes that you have in the tight front. Okay, now, for us what it's done is we now have to change the coverage, structure behind when we go to this theory, because the middle safety is no longer in a position to play his 3x1 checks. So what are we going to have to do? We're probably going to have to add the backside safety into our 3x1 deals. Okay? We can do the same thing when we play mint front. Okay? So we can do the same thing when we play the mint front. If we play the mint front and we put the Mike away from the Sam as the fourth rusher weak, all right, now we can do the same thing to where we can leave a 6-man box if we so choose. But we're going to have to change our coverage structure behind it. All right, so we know that we've got to change the coverage structure. We know how we have to account for 3 vertical and 3x1 sets, right? But we know we can also change the appearance of the box for that team. Because the way we teach our coverages to our players, and we don't count the Mike in any of them, we could also use this mint front in our 3-high world, and now you would get a 4-1 box instead of a 4-2 box. All right, so there's the Sam, corner, left safety, middle safety, and now we're handling the trips with all of our strong side players. And now on the backside, we can leave the backside safety tied with the corner to where he can run what we teach our players, single side menu, because we're back in the 3-high world. So now they've got that 4-1 box. They've got that lighter box. All right, it's not the same box. The tight front is a 3-2 box with tight front. The mid front is a 3-1 box with a fourth rusher weak. The over front is a 4-2 box with a standard over front. The stack theory is a 3-3 box, more of a traditional Okie or 0-5-5, all right, 5-0-5, 3 stack linebackers. Well, for us in the 3-high world, we can present this lighter box. That's how we play football all the time, all right, and then we can push the ball where we want to push it so we can support runs. But we have the ability, and we need to have the ability, to go ahead and change the appearance of the box by going into a 2-high world, which will then affect our trips coverages. We know that, right? We know the things that we've got to do. But what it's also going to affect is it's going to affect the numbers and the appearance of the box. All right, so by changing the structure of our safeties from 3-high to 2-high, by moving our middle safety down to be a linebacker, and that's how we train them, and that's how we choose our guys. So I told you in the past, our middle safety is now, he's committed to Division I school. He is 200 pounds. He can play linebacker for us. So we can change from 3-high structures to 2-high structures, and what that does is it keeps all the same coverage theories for us, except for one 3x1 alert when we need the backside safety. Well, most teams that play traditional 4-down, all right, or split field coverages, one of their standard trips checks is bringing the backside safety over to poach. All right, solo, stress, whatever your calls are that you are using for that. Okay, in our base 3-high system, we teach all of our split field coverages so that if we needed to use the backside safety in 3x1, we are going to play the same theory with these 3 players that they would always play on the number 1 and number 2 and number 3 receiver. So these guys are still playing 2 read. So I haven't changed the structure of the coverage. If it's 4 strong, the middle safety's involved in the push. Okay? The only thing I've changed is the backside component. Because I've taken the backside safety to play 3 vertical, now I'm stuck, all right, in a man-to-man world on the backside because I don't have safety help. Well, we know that going in. We know what we need to do. We know how we need to change the structure of our coverages. If the backside single is a guy that we don't want to free up, then we'll probably stay in our 3-high theories. All right, and when we stay in our 3-high theories, now the middle safety can handle 3 vertical, all right, and we can leave the backside safety. So all of these things become part of that chess game that we love in coaching and all the things that we love in game planning, all right? But all you're trying to do, and in most videos I talk about, is protect your own system, all right? Protect your own system. So I want to have the ability to show the offensive coordinator and the offensive linemen that are in the game different boxes, all right? So I want to have the ability to show them our normal tight front box. 3-2 box, lighter box, tight front, when I do that, they're going to have all their tight front beaters. They're going to have all their deals with the angles and the numbers that they like. Okay? So I've got to be able to change that theory. Now, if I stay 3 high, I can change the front. Okay? But if I stay 3 high with the middle safety playing, all right, from a higher position, I've changed the front, which helps. And I will do that. Okay? We do this, so I'm not saying that we don't do it. We will play these structures from 3 high. So I've changed the appearance of the box, but what I haven't changed is the numbers in the box. When we go to our 2 high theories, that is, again, simple for us. All right, we've got to send, the hardest part for us is there's one 3x1 alert that our kids need to know the difference between 2 high and 3 high. Okay, and we label our fronts differently, so that tells them when the alert is there. Okay, and our middle safety needs to spend time, all right, with the inside linebacker coach to work on his fits from the inside linebacker position. All right, it doesn't change much for him. His coverage does not change. The only thing that changes is when we play him down, we take the responsibility of 3 vertical off of him, and he can play his coverages without having to worry about 3 vertical. Everybody else in the equation is playing the same deal. All right, but again, that box and that box are 2 different things for the offense. It's a 5-man light box to a 6-man standard box. Okay, so we want to have the ability to change not only the appearance of the front, but we want to change the appearance of the box. All right, if it was 3-3 stack and we were playing it from 3 high, that would involve us maybe pushing, pulling. It would end up looking more like a 3-2 box, but it's definitely going to be a 5-man box. All right, as soon as we change from 3 high to 2 high, that changes from a 5-man box to a 6-man box. All right, so we want to have the ability, while the biggest thing is I've got to keep the run fits as similar as possible, and I've got to keep the coverage structure as similar as possible. So in our system, I figure out where I can play my middle safety so that this player, this player, this player, and all these guys on the back end can be same as much as humanly possible. Okay? When we go to our 2 high theory and we change the numbers in the box, what is the big one that changes for us? 3x1. Okay? Because I don't want the burden of 3 vertical on the middle safety playing linebacker, I have to change how I play 3 vertical. Well, we know that in the system. We know that we build the alert in. We build the check in. Okay? And again, most people would call it poach, however you want to talk about, taking the backside safety, adding them to the front side for 3 vertical. We know that we have to do that. Okay? We've got to make the offense figure out when we need to do that. So we've got to try and disguise our looks. The best thing for us is we can start in 3 high structures, and just like most people spin safeties or stem the front, we can start in 3 high and we can walk him down to play the box there. Okay? The idea behind all this, okay, is playing different fronts outside of tight and playing different box pictures outside of tight. If we went into the mint world and we played 3 high, the majority of the time the box is going to look like that. It's going to be a 4-1 box from the tight front. If we wanted to play the mint front and we wanted to play it from 2 high, we're going to change the picture for the offense and we're going to make it a 4-2 box. Changing pictures, changing numbers, changing leverage of the front. All right? It's all about us trying to play defense as close to same as possible. I cannot sit here and tell you as a coordinator that everything we do is exactly same as. But I can sit here and tell you as a coordinator that every time I make a change, I try to figure out how much carryover, how much same as is in that system. Coverage-wise, run fit-wise. And the closer I can get to doing all those things on the same, all right, in the same manner as my other stuff, then I will carry that. If going from 3 high to 2 high changes rules for everybody on the field, I'm not going to carry it. All right, but it only has a few subtle changes to a few players, 3x1 alerts, so I feel like we can carry those things and we can change the appearance of the box the numbers in the box, the angles of the blocking schemes for the offense. If you sit in tight front 3 high like box, they're going to have pin pull, they're going to adjust their counter and their power schemes, and they're going to run dart, and they're going to use the tackle as a puller because they like the guard back on the 4 eye, all right, because of the leverage. They're going to scheme that up, give guys credit. They're good enough to beat that. So in order for us to change, we not only have to change the appearance of the front, we've got to change the appearance of the box and give them different numbers that they have to practice. All right, so it's all about trying to stay consistent for us, building changes in to protect our base, and making the offense work on blocking multiple things. All right, when you start out tight 3 high, the offense puts in their tight 3 high beaters. So now you've got to graduate from your tight 3 high base to the next step, which is changing not only fronts, angles, numbers. Change the appearance of the box, change the numbers in the box, change the math for the offense. All right, so I hope this helps you guys out if you are trying to play tight front 3 high. I know I've got a lot of messages about, hey, coach, can you help us with tight front 3 high stuff and how you play this and how you play that? All right, if you go to that, eventually you're going to have to build in answers. Maybe year 1, all right, if teams don't know you're playing it, early in the season you can get away with tight front 3 high and not have many adjustments, maybe just a few movements or pressures. All right, but eventually you're going to have to carry enough answers because teams are going to scheme your tight front. All right, so again, we've got a clinic tonight, 8 o'clock, Zoom clinic. If you're interested, you email me, sting8740@gmail.com. All right, and I will tell you how you can sign up, how you can get registered. Remember, all of those Zoom clinics we do are recorded. They go up on my YouTube channel unlisted. So then if you are registered, I send you the link afterwards. If you're interested in any of the individual ones that we did previously, Noma Zone, Tim Krause screen game, Devin Bice zone game, Sean McIntyre, all right, drills that show up in practice or use in practice show up in games, Atavist tackling, I did one on our Blitz system, Blitz families. If you're interested in those, email me and let me know, $5. If you're interested in all of them, over 7.5 hours of football right before camp, $25, you can have all of them. All right, I hope you guys are doing well out there. I appreciate everything you do for me, everything you've done for Play Fast Football for the last 10 years. Hope you're enjoying the last part of summer. Remember, you won't play well until you play fast. Hit that subscribe button, smash those notifications, likes, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, all the good stuff we talk about every video. See you guys next time.